Hey everyone, I'm back with another tutorial video, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make bases for your LEGO custom minifigure. So bases are basically just some stands for your LEGO minifigures to stand on, and yeah, they're not very important for your LEGO custom minifigure, but they're just to make it look like they're standing on a platform or something like that. For this figure here I have Arya Stark from Game of Thrones out of season 6, and yeah, I tried to just make a stand for her that looks like she's walking on some sand or something like that, and then got here a bit of water and a stone with a bit of grass on it. And yeah, today I'm not going to show you how to make this base, I'm just going to show you how to make bases at all. And for this I'm going to make a base for my District 9 Christopher Johnson figure. And yeah, basically this figure, if you want to see more details of him, go check out my showcase video. That's the latest video that I made, and yeah, there you can see all the details of him. And as you can see, this figure is pretty large and can't really stand on its own, so I decided to just make a base for him. And yeah, now starting off with all the tools that you will need. So basically here we have all the tools that you will need to make bases for your LEGO custom minifigure. And now starting off with the top and then moving on to the bottom. First of all, I got here two kinds of glue, as said, liquid glue and more thick glue. And yeah, we are not going to use them as glue, we are going to use them for something special, and I'm just going to let it surprise you. Anyway, and then you will also need a toothpick, just a regular one, and yeah. Then you will also need sanding tools, and I use these sanding tools from Army Painter. They're pretty good, and they're pretty good to just, yeah, you know. And this is a medium one, so it's not so rough, and that's exactly what we are going to need. And then we'll also need a more fine sanding tool, like here. It's almost got nothing here, but it's just to smooth things out, you know. Yeah. And then we will also need brushes, of course. And I got here 3 steps of brushes. I got first here you can't even see it. Got first here a very fine one, and then I got here a medium one. It's already I didn't clean it that well, so it doesn't look so good. And then we will need a pretty large one. And yeah, so these are, god damn it, these are all the brushes that you will need. And yeah, now moving on to the next step, you will need a cutter. And yeah, I'm using this. I think it was also from Army Painter, but I'm not very sure. And you know how these work. And then you will also need a pair of tweezers. This time you will really need these. And yeah, they're just to, I don't know. And then you will also need a sculpting material. I'm using this one. I got it from, I don't know, I just found it somewhere. And yeah, you won't need this side, because this side is basically just to cut things. You won't need this. You will only need this side. And yeah, I'm using this side mostly for sculpting fur or pelt, but this time I'm just going to use the top for the Citadel texture paints, so I can put these out and then paint it onto the base. And yeah, now also one tool that you also need. It's a hot glue pistol knife. Why knife? Hot glue gun. And yeah, it is just a very good one. And yeah. Now these are basically all the tools that you will need to make bases. Now here we have all the paints that you will require for this tutorial. And yeah, now just here take a closer look at all of these. And yeah, just starting off here from the left. Now first of all, I got here a Citadel dry paint. You will know what or why it's called dry paint in a second when I'm using this paint. And yeah, I'm using this Nurgling green. And yeah, it's just the best I could find. And now next we have Ogryn Camo. It's a layer paint. And yeah, as the name says, it's a layer paint, so you have to paint it in layers, not just one time. And yeah. And then next we have Screamer Pink. It's a base paint, so it's just a regular acrylic paint. You can also take some other Citadel red paints. I'm just using this one because I needed to buy a pink color. Next one we have a shade paint. It's called Carroburg Crimson. And yeah, shade paints are basically just washes. So it's a very liquid color, and this one is red, as you can see on the bottom. And these two are going to be my blood paint. And yeah, just to paint some blood things onto the base. Now next Citadel shade paint we have is Agrax Earthshade. And now that's probably the most famous one out of all the shade paints. And yeah, it's just to shade paint the sand from the base, damn it. Yeah, anyway. And next we have the texture paint. It's called Sterland Battlemire. And as you can see, it's a pretty big paint. And yeah, texture paints are, I can show you really quick. They're not regular paints, so you don't have to shake them, and you're just like, they look kind of like earth things you can get from, I know, the garden. And yeah, would you focus? No? Okay. And now we have our only Revel paint. And yeah, it's just a gloss varnish paint, so it's not silver, and yeah, it's just to make the grass on the stone here. And yeah, that's basically it. These are all the paints that you will need. And yeah, now moving on to the main tutorial. For this tutorial you will have to buy or get your hands on these pieces. And now starting off here on the left, we have a Citadel round base. And you can buy them in a pack where there are 10 of these in, and it costs like €4, I guess. Not really sure. I got a package here right now. I'm going to get it. Yes, €5 from Games Workshop. And it's just Citadel round base, you know. And there are 10 in it. And yeah. Now moving on, you will need a rock or just a stone. You can get it like when you go outside, then just search for some smaller stones who fit in it, who fit on it. And yeah, make sure you don't get too small ones, and also not to get too big ones. And now you will need a Lego stud. And I just got this one because, I don't know, it was the first one that I found. And yeah, it's a red one, and yeah, anyway. You can use any color that you want. We are going to paint it anyway. And now you will need to, not really, you don't need it, but I just wanted to because I thought it would look cool. It's a Lego arm, or a cut it off arm. Now it looks kind of like someone got his hands or arms lost. And yeah, you can also take a Lego skull, just be creative. I just took this because, I don't know, thought it would look cool. And yeah, now these are all the materials that you will need. And now we're going to start to assemble the base. The first thing we are going to do is we're going to take the stud and basically just use our cutter to cut off this section, like just this thing here. So yeah, let's do this. Yeah, that's done now, and after that we are going to take our medium sanding tool and then just sand this side a bit so it's more smooth. So that's done now too, and as you can see it fits perfectly onto the figure, or onto the feet of the figure. And if you want to, you can also use your sanding tool and sand a bit of the sides down so it fits better into the feet. And yeah, there's one thing we have to do now. We have to use our very fine sanding tool and then just again sand this thing just a bit to make it just very flat, so the glue can so you can better glue it on. And now we're already ready to prepare our hot glue pistol, hot glue gun, and yeah, just wait till it's warm and heating up, and then we are going to glue these 3 pieces onto the base. And yeah, while the hot glue gun is getting heating up, we can already choose where these 3 pieces are going to be. And yeah, it's also very useful to grab your figure for this and just look where it will look good, like probably the stone here and the arm somewhere here. So yeah, now we're going to glue this on. Now we are done with gluing these pieces together, and as you can see I just glued them on with hot glue, nothing very special. And yeah, now we can take our Citadel texture paint, and yeah, I'm just using this Sterling Battlemire as said, and then we're going to grab our sanding tool, and wait, I'm just going to quickly light this up so I can see what I'm doing. And yeah, then we just get our sculpting tool and then just put it in and get a bit of the texture paint out, and as you can see it looks like, yeah, it just looks like, I don't know, can't really describe it. Then we just put it all over the base, and yeah, just try to figure out where you want to put it in. And yeah, there's really nothing you can say about this. And for this base, we're also going to try to leave a bit like a hole here, so you can paint the blood onto a like it's already a bit of like a lake, I don't know. And then just try to put the texture paint around this. So we're done with, yeah, just the base of it. And after you give the texture paint 1 hour, about 1 hour or a half an hour would also be okay, but just depends on how much time you have, we can paint this. And yeah, I'm just going to wait till it dries and then we're going to paint it. I finished painting almost everything with Ogryn Camo. And as you can see, I accidentally painted on a bit of paint onto the sides, but that's not so worse, because you can just grab yourself a Bad in Black. That's a black paint from Citadel, and then you can repaint the black from the sides. But yeah, now I recommend you guys to do a second layer of Ogryn Camo when the first layer has dried, and then we can start using Screamer Pink and Carroburg Crimson. Now how are we going to use them? So first of all, we're going to grab our palette again, and then we're first going to put a bit of Carroburg Crimson onto it, and then just a tiny bit of Screamer Pink. And yeah, then it will look like this. And yeah, now as you can see, we got a very liquid color, and it looks kind of like blood, a bit too pink, but yeah, that's just because I don't have any how is it called, red paint from Citadel. And yeah, anyway, now we're going to grab a fine brush, like pretty fine, and then just dip it into the paint, and then just paint it onto, like here perhaps onto the arm, because it's got a lot of blood since it's chopped off. And yeah, and we're just going to also fill in this little like hole where the blood is already like in it. Just paint everything with this color mix so it looks like blood. Blood paint has almost dried, and yeah, now it should look like this. And yeah, now the layer paint Ogryn Camo should have dried now too, and we can move on to the next step. And the next step is to use Citadel Shade Agrax Earthshade and just shade over all the Ogryn Camo. Now when the glue or the glue paint mixture is almost drying, you grab your toothpick again and then just start pushing it around so it gets a bit like grass form. And if you put it a bit into the top, you can see it looks kind of like spider things, spider net or something like that. Just poke it around so it gets a bit of grass texture. Just do it so long till you're happy, and then wait till it's dried. After the glue on the rock has completely dried, we can start painting a green color onto it, because as you can see now it still looks very much like glue, so we don't want that. We're just going to paint it with a green color of your own choice. You can decide what you want. And yeah, after this we're going to take our Citadel dry paint Nurgling Green to dry brush everything. The green paint dried, and after this we can start with the last part of this tutorial, and that is dry brushing. Now we're just going to take a medium brush. You can also buy a dry brush from Citadel, but I don't have one, so I'm just using this medium one. So basically, when you open the dry paint, you will see that the paint is very thick. It's not even liquid. So you just use your brush and then dip into it to get kind of like this, and then we switch over here to our tissue, and then we can start like painting it onto the tissue, and then just like that the paint goes into the brush, into the hair, kind of like this. And then excuse me, you can start dry brushing. So you just take your base and then just dry brush all over. Take your time. That's a bit too less of paint, so I'm just getting more. As you can see, the details come out very fast. And dry brushing is a very good technique for beginners because it brings out a lot of details very fast. And yeah, now it should look kinda like this. Just take your time with dry brushing and be sure to don't get too much paint onto your brush because then it would look definitely not good. So yeah, basically we're done now with our base. I'm just going to quickly clean my brush and then we can start putting our District 9 Christopher Johnson figure onto it. Let's see how it looks like.
Yeah, you sneaky fucking prawns, eh?
That's already it for this tutorial video, and as you can see he looks very cool on his stand. Christopher Johnson from District 9. And yeah, let me know down in the comments if you guys would like to see a part 2 of this, where I probably make a, I don't know, another base for Lego figures, like perhaps Fallout base for your Fallout custom minifigure, I don't know. And yeah, be sure to check out some other videos from me, like my other tutorial videos. I made a playlist of it, so you can check that out. And also be sure to subscribe to my YouTube account. And as always, I'm going to see you guys next time. Bye.